Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I captured and tracked an elephant in space using Ease Astro's EM-31 Pro strain wave mount. Well, it's not really an elephant in space, but it's an elephant trunk in space, and this thing is 2,400 light years away, and I was able to perfectly track this object for over 5 hours. You're going to want to stay tuned to see the results. Tonight, we are continuing to test out Ease Astro's EM-31 Pro strain wave mount sent to us from Dan over at AstroWorldTelescopes.com. Thank you very much, Dan. Let's get to it. We're going to go into the ASI air, and we are going to be imaging the elephant trunk tonight with the IDAS NBZ II Nebula booster filter. So quickly, let's take a couple look at some items here to make sure I got everything set up the way I need it. Let's go ahead and take a quick, I changed out filters, changed some things over, so let's some hardware out. Let me see if we're going to need to focus. I think we're going to need to. We're going to have to check it. I don't have, of all things, I don't have an automatic focuser for this, but the ZWO, I mean not ZWO, William Optics has a really nifty built-in batten off mask, which really love this. So excuse me for just a second. Well, the heck. All right, so here we go. Got that on there. Sorry about that. Let's get a quick snapshot here. Check the focus. It's going to be off because changing the filters out. And I don't have a filter drawer anymore. I just put the filter right up inside the camera body here, which is really nice they can do because I don't have that M54 adapter, and it was a lot of vignetting in the corners. So it's off just a little bit, so let's adjust it. All right, so let's take an adjustment one way. It's I'm still trying to remember if I need to roll it to the right or roll it to the left. I rolled it to the right, and we'll see if the line adjusts down a little bit. Try to get this thing in perfect focus here. Whoop. So rolled it the wrong way. Just try to easy roll it back. So I just rolled it back to the left. As you can hear, my neighbor's dogs are having a good time over there. Let's see here. See a little bit more of them out there. Really pleased so far with this EM-31. It's very quiet. It's very smooth. And I think that's close enough. That looks really good. I think we're gonna call it good there. And after I tighten it down, I'll always recheck the focus. So we'll recheck it. And while that's doing, I need to double check my settings here. All right, just had to make sure the scope was unparked. That's good. All right, so yeah, that's good enough. That's really good. So I'm happy with that focus. Don't need this light on right now. So we'll go ahead and let it take another quick image there. And then we'll make sure we got the mount and everything set up accordingly. So I haven't done that yet. I just wanted to go ahead and get the focus done because I've been changing around so many different cameras and mounts, and whether I'm using ASI Air or Stella Vita, it's all changing around. So all right, so let's see here. The mount is not the AM5 mount, okay? So we need to come over here and pick one step. I believe it's One Step Electronics. I believe that's what it is. All right, so that's selected, that's there. We're gonna leave it for the 5 minutes there, that's good. I think everything else should be good to go. We got the 120 mm. These are the settings from last time, I believe, so those should be good. Or maybe not. I think these may have to come down a little bit. We'll double check the settings here, because they're different for each one. It seems like we got to keep moving those around. So we're using the 6200. It's a full frame. Set at 100. Cooling is good. Dew heater's on. All right, so I'm happy with all of that. Let's make sure that it's going to plate solve. It should have no problems. Okay, so it worked, and we'll just move on over to, well, first of all, let me make sure we're not in the all sky mode here, and we're not, so we're good. And let's go ahead and polar align. So we've already focused, and now we are going to polar align, and then we're going to, can't even hear it, it's so quiet, it's so smooth and so quiet. I love this mount. Now, one thing I've learned about using so many different mounts for testing and ASI Air versus Stella Vita, and on the different mounts, every button, every one is different. So if I can remember correctly, the right hand arrow, I know that it's identifying the right hand adjuster, but what it wants you to do is, I've remembered for this particular mount, it wants you to tighten that one. So I always leave my hand on it to mean, hey, I know I need to tighten that. So all I have to do is take the left, loosen it just a little bit, and then tighten the right hand. And just give the other one a little bit of a snug. And hopefully I've remembered that correctly, and we're going in the right direction. And of course we are going in the right direction. So I'll just loosen it up just a little bit more. Made a little bit bigger of adjustment. Put just a little bit, not much, of tightness on the left hand side. All right, so we're looking pretty good here. All right, so we're gonna still adjust it just a little bit more. And we're gonna bring it down just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's really got some fine adjustments on this mount. So we're at 45 and 21. I always just kind of like to call the numbers out. All right, it's 21, so an 8. So we're going to bring it down just a little bit more. And then we're going to adjust the right-hand side a little bit more. Getting a lot closer. Okay, now we're getting really close. All right, so we're just going to take our time and just do a very small adjustment on the azimuth, because the altitude is looking really good. Oh, just too much. Too much. So we want to loosen this one. All right, let's try that. It's such a fine maneuver. You might just be able to, instead of tighten and loosen, just loosen one. It might be just enough to, whoa. I've never had it that close. We're going to refresh just to make sure my eyes are seeing this correctly, because I'm seeing the lowest numbers I've ever seen. I've never gotten it that low before, so we're going to finish with that. We're going to call that a successful calibration, which it is. All right, so now we've calibrated our polar alignment. We've already focused. We'll go back to the preview routine, and now we are going to go over, and we're going to go to the elephant trunk. And I do believe IC 1396. So let's go here and look up IC 1396. And I'm sorry, I'm going to have to put you over here. All right, IC 1396. I really wish this thing would stay in the middle, but it won't. Go to. Of course, there it goes. There it goes. You can see it moving. You can't hear it, but it's moving. Look at that. That's pretty cool. All right, so we're going to double check the framing here. When all this settles down and the go-to success is done, we're gonna double check the framing, make sure everything is good. We'll do a test picture, get the guiding going. Okay, I'm not sure where it's going. Are we that? Oh, you know what? I'm so... Well, you know, that's what happens when you don't check to make sure the target is above the tree line. Apparently, it is so close. It's not going to make it there. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit stop. Okay, all right, so we're back. Had a little bit of a snafu on the time frame of where the target where I was waiting to get to the elephant trunk. Wasn't really thinking. Slewed to it, and the mount pointed into the trees. It's because there was quite some time. It was at least an hour and a half from when the target was going to come above the trees to when I was trying to do it. So I thought something was wrong with it, but I had forgotten that it was midnight from the other night when I tried to align to get it to go. So anyway, we've already polar aligned. We've already focused. The guiding is going now. Seeing is really bad and poor, so it's fluctuating between 1.5 and like 0.9 or 0.8. So it works, it's good. Let's do a quick test image to see where we're at. let's do a 1 minute test image to kind of see where we're at. You'll see here too that right on the far reaches of the screen here, that's the tree. It's just the tip of the tree there, so it's almost gone, but it'll be gone here in just a minute. By the time we take this picture here, it'll probably be gone. What we're going to do is check our framing, and we're probably going to adjust this framing, tilt it just a little bit more. I'm not really sure if I like how that is. We'll adjust it a little bit better. We'll see here in just a minute. We'll see what comes out on the screen, and we'll set up the auto run feature and let it go. And behind me, the other mount is going right now, with Stella Vita on it. It's been tracking and doing its thing. So let's see. All right, here comes a 1 minute test picture. Still got a little bit of the tree there, but that's all right. It'll be gone. It'll be gone shortly. All right, so we're going to do some framing here. So what we're going to do is, okay, see the guiding is kind of still fluctuating, but we have smoke in the area and it's really bad seeing, so that's contributing to that. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to have to move this down here. I'll go up here to the top, and I'm going to hit the frame button, and I'm going to adjust. This is currently where it's at, and I just adjust the camera to how I want. So if I want the red be in the frame, kind of want it even. So I'm going to level it off right here. Okay, so that part is good. And then what I'm going to do is on the bottom part over here, of course there's some directions right there. At the bottom left hand corner, there's the directions. I'm just going to kind of put that there, and I'm going to hit, put it on auto, so it's going to automatically just start to refresh. So then what I'm going to do up here is, I'm going to reach up here to the adjuster knob up here. I'm going to loosen it I'm going to loosen it on the red cat. And I'm just simply going to adjust the camera in one direction and watch that blue line either rotate in the right direction or rotate in the wrong direction. And I think I went, oh no, I went in the right direction, so just gotta keep it going just a minute. Just slowly rotate it till the camera updates and it matches what your framing is. It's real simple. This is the simplest thing to do here. One of the simplest things to do. Just do very small movements. And this is why you need a camera rotator. You wouldn't have to worry about doing this. It'll automatically, you can set it up how you want it, hit the go button, and poof, it's like magic. All right, come on thing, refresh here. Waiting for the camera to refresh. It's trying to solve right now. You see at the bottom there, it's got the stars coming up trying to, and I'm hoping the trees aren't in the way. Oh, now that I've moved the camera, maybe that's why. I'm going to take it off of, actually, I'm taking it off of auto because the camera is such a, the megapixels are so large. I think that's probably why it's dragging it down, so taking so long. We'll just see if it works on this one, or it has time to process. I'm not sure if that's the case or not, but Yep, that's what it was. Just going to need to take it off of auto and manually hit the refresh button when using the full frame camera. The files are too large. Trying to take it, it's time to plate solve. So oh, it's almost there. I'm just going to rotate it back just a little bit, just ever so slightly. Hit the refresh button, and then let's put this up here so you can kind of see what's going on with the solving and the guiding down there. Not the guiding, but the plate solving. And that's really, really close. We could call it good, but I'm just going to give it a little touch. And then I'm going to lock it down, because I believe I'm not going to get it any closer than that. And I think once it gets within, let's see, that's within 0.1, so I think when it gets within that little fraction, I think it just accepts it. I'm not sure, but that's close enough. Yeah, right there. So it's blinking. It's on the money. All right, so now that that's good, we just hit this frame button again to get us out of that whole thing. So I'm gonna move you over here so we can go back. So now let's take, well, we don't need to take another test image. That tree's going to be there, whether it's going to be there or not. So, but I tell you what, we'll go ahead and take another test image, and I'll let this guiding settle back down. May go back through another calibration, just to kind of see if we can get a little bit better after this test image comes through. And then put it on auto run and let it do its thing and go to bed, because it's midnight and it's kind of late right now. It's getting kind of chilly out here too. Let's give it another few seconds here. Even though we don't have to redo the guiding, it's going up and down, and well, you can actually see the skies are not very clear, so we'll probably change the guide star. Let's look at this image first. Okay, the tree looks like it's gone. It's gone. All right, let's see if we can't get the guiding a little bit better. Let's go with that one. Let it do its thing. And while that's doing, I'm going to put this back down here. Well, let's just double check to make sure we are still on the target. We are. There's the elephant trunk. That's what we readjusted the framing for, to make sure we can get a nice square shot of that. So that should look really good if it comes out. So we're good there. Really would like to see the guiding numbers come down a little bit more. Go with 1.5 seconds on the it's probably not going to get any better than that with the seeing. It's horrible. Surprised the picture's even going to come out. All right. So while that's doing, let's go ahead and get us set up an auto run here. We'll just let that go. It's going to do its thing. If it doesn't go above 2, we're going to be good. With this wide field, I think we're going to be really good. So we'll set up an auto run feature here. It says we've got 6 hours before the meridian, and we're not going to get 6 hours. We're going to get like 5 hours and 20 minutes, because then it starts to get daylight here. and it'll mess up. So I'll still leave it set to 80. This is the IC 1396, but we're going to call this Red Cat 71, so I know, because I use this ASI Air on multiple scopes. I'll leave it at that with 62. I won't fit any more in there, so anyway, it's going to stay at that. Group by slot, meridian flip, yes. We probably won't even get to a meridian flip, but we're going to still go with it. And we're going to do 600-second exposures, yes. Gain of 100. We're not going to get to 80, but I'm going to come back out here anyway and turn it off, so we'll just leave it set at 80. And we're guiding at 0.78, so it's fluctuating. And we're going to go ahead and go with this. All right, we're going to go with the 10 minutes. Exposure, it's already started, and we will sit here and let this thing count off. You can already see inside the nebula there some reddish color, so that was only with 1 minute. But we are currently focused, polar aligned, we're guiding. However, it's not great. We have very poor transparency and very poor seeing conditions due to the smoke, and we're set up to do at least 5 hours on the Elephant Trunk, and we're going to just sit here and chit chat for a minute, check out the guiding until the first image comes through, and then we'll let this thing sit out here the rest of the night, and then we'll meet inside when it's done to process in PixInsight. 10 seconds left. All right. Let's see what this looks like. I haven't imaged the elephant trunk in a while. Well, it's trying to process. It's already started on the next image. Here it comes. It's processing it and loading it up. It's got that big file to load up. Ooh, yeah, that's going to be really good. Look at that dark, rich nebula in there. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a good picture right there. That's going to be good. A lot of the outline structures there. I'm happy. And the stars aren't deformed or trailing. And we're still just over an arc second, so that's going to be good. All right, y'all. So we're going to let this stay on auto run, let it run for several hours, and then we will see you back inside for the processing. Okay, so here we are right inside PixInsight. This was used with the 6200 ASI 6200, so one-shot color camera with an IDAS NBZ II nebula booster filter. And so we only have one file here. So we have an integration file. This was 31 600-second images, so that's 5.1 hours and some change. So just roughly over 5 hours. Let's take a look and see here. So let's do a quick screen stretch. And there's our basic image. And as always, we're just going to hit it with a few little scripts. So we're going to go to Script, SETI Astros, Automatic DBE, and we're just going to use the defaults and hit the execute button. Those take just a few seconds. This will get rid of that background, and it'll leave us with a pretty good looking image here. Just give it a second as it goes through. And at this time, I'll have to say thank you to Dan over at AstroWorldTelescopes.com for sending us over Ease Astro's EM-31 Pro mount for review. It is so far a fantastic mount, as you can see in some of the videos and the tracking. And also this IDAS NBZ II filter was given to us by AstroWorldTelescopes.com as well. So thank you, Dan. Appreciate it very much. Thank you. All right, let's take a look at the gradient that it took out. And there's the gradient. And as always, if you don't like this, you can always do a different type of background extraction. There's always this DBE background extraction here. You can do it a couple different ways. But let's look at our new image, which, wow, that turned out to be pretty good. So we don't need this image we started out with before. Here is our new integrated image. And just out of the box, that's looking pretty good. For the Red Cat 71, the ZWO ASI 6200 MC Pro with the IDAS filter. Not the best of sky quality. We were able to squeak this out overnight, one night. So I think it looks pretty good. We're just a dynamic background extraction. All right, so let's get this back to where it is here. And then our next step is we're going to do a blur exterminator correct only. So do blur exterminator, do correct only, and then we'll hit the go button and we'll let it do its thing. And then once we get this correction done, there's a couple different ways. Since this is a color image, it's pretty short and sweet. We get some background extraction on it. We get the first round of blur exterminator on it. And then it's up to you whether you want to take the stars out and process it with the stars in. I'm going to take the stars out, process the stars separately from the nebula, and then combine the two. We'll go over the two different ways to combine them. Real simple results. So this is the after. Let's show you the before and after real quick. Let's get this. So just keep your eye on this star right here. This is after. There's a before. I know it's really hard to see, but it does make a huge difference. There you go. Maybe you can see a little bit better now. Especially up here in this corner with the little stars. Let's see if I can get this a little bit better. There we go. See up in this corner right here? It makes a huge difference. Watch. That's after, before, after, and before. So really big difference. Blur exterminator really helps out a lot. Cleans up the image really nice. Okay, so that was just a correct only. So we'll get this back down to normal size here. Okay, so there's a couple different things we can do here, but like I said, all we're going to do is we could go ahead and hit it with some noise exterminator. Why not? So I always like to turn that off. Well, let's just go ahead and do one round of noise exterminator, just because we can, and it's quick and easy. We'll hit it with the first round. We'll go ahead and take the stars out, process the stars really quick, put those off to the side, do the nebula, and then we're gonna leave it its natural state color. We'll try something, and maybe we'll try an SPCC on it to see if we can change it. Sometimes I have luck with that, sometimes I don't. All right, so here it is with the noise exterminator, and that actually cleaned. Look at that. That cleaned it up really good. Let's take the noise exterminator off. You see that? That's a huge difference, a huge difference. This is before the noise exterminator, and that's after. Look how awesome it makes those clouds in the dust lane just look. That's a really beautiful image right there. That's just amazing. That's before, and that's after. Huge difference, huge difference. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and take the stars out. So we're going to do processes, all processes, star exterminator. We're going to generate a star image. And we're going to let that run and just take the stars out real quick. And depending upon the speed of your machine, it could take anywhere from a minute to 5 minutes. Just depends. But it's a quick and easy process. And there's a couple different star exterminator programs out there. This particular one from RC Astro is a paid software. All right, there are the stars. And we're just going to minimize the stars and stick them right here. And it leaves us with the nebula here. So we're going to do the stars first. All right, we're going to leave that there. We'll put the stars. Yeah, that's a good place for it. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to stretch the stars. We're going to go to Script, SETI Astro, Star Stretch. And then I'm going to turn the stars down to 4. That's what I used to bump them up, but I like to take them down to 4. Give just a little bit of color boost. Take away the green and do a show preview just to kind of give a quick little preview off to the side here what it's going to look like. I think it's going to look good. And I'm going to execute. And then voila, it's like magic. The stars appear on the screen and they're stretched really nice. Okay, so they're the stars. And you can go back and adjust them how you want. I don't like them too bright. So then we're going to go back to the nebula, and you don't have to turn off the display stretch if you don't want to. Just hit Script, SETI Astro, Statistical Stretch. And since this is a nebula, you can go with 25, right? So I'm going to just leave it at 25, automatic convergence, and we're going to do a refresh preview. And let's see what it looks like rather than hitting the execute button. It'll take just a second to give us an idea of what it's going to look like here in the preview window. And as long as it's not too bright around the outer portions of the nebula, I'm going to go with it. But there's many different ways. And I think I like that because it stretched it good enough to where it looks like it's a dimensional depth object. So it looks like it's going in. And it does show some of the dust and hydrogen alpha on the outlayings of the nebula. So I like that. I'm going to hit the execute button. And we're going to go with that. If you like it, but you don't, if your preference is to have the background of this image darker, you can do so real easy, either via curves adjustment or put it into GHS and actually just adjust the background, or even an easier way, I'll show you in Image Blend, where you can just simply adjust the background, the darkness that way. So there's two different ways we're going to do this. We have the nebula here, starless, and then we have the stars. So, and I always forget to give credit where credit is due, and I know that I got these from Luco's video, but I think either he made them or another one of his buddies made them. I can't remember, and I apologize. But these work really well. You just drag starless for rescreening. There's your new image, and then you take the stars, drop it on the thing. So you got your new stars image, and then just take the rescreen and drop it on there, and it magically puts the stars back into your image. So you're left with what I call the full frontal of the stars. You get however you stretched your stars. If you stretched them at a level 4 or a level 6, you get that full intensity back in this rescreening process. But if you don't like it that way, you can just put these over here. Then what you can do is you have your integration. You just have to remember what your files are named. So if we wanted to rename this, let's see, IC, that's a 1C. Oh, there we go. IC 1396. If we named it that, I'll just put that over there. And we wanted to rename this stars, since it's just stars, we can use image blend. So we go to script, utilities, and image blend. And I always hit the reset button. And then what we want to do is we want to take our starless image, which we renamed to IC 1396, which is the Elephant Trunk Nebula, and there it is. At this point, if you don't like your background of space and you wanted it darker, just simply come up here to the slider for the black point and slowly adjust it. And as you can see, I'm slowly adjusting it and it's getting darker and darker, clipping a bunch of data there, but it's actually just your preference. So I didn't really mind the darkness there. We'll take it just a little bit, just a wee bit. I don't want to cut off the space too much, because sometimes space is dark, but space isn't always exactly jet black. You can adjust the highlights and the midtones as you wish. Now, let's go ahead and take the stars. This is the star file. And there are the stars. Like, oh no, what happened? I just went over my image. You can look at these stars and then adjust your stars accordingly. If you want to make it a little bit brighter, bring your slider over and you get all the brightness out of your stars, because if maybe you stretched them too little and you want to do them a little bit more, that's fine too. Or the opacity, you can bring the opacity down like that. But we're looking at this star's image and we want to blend the two images together. So we don't want to replace. We want to go down here to the blend parameters and use screen. So now that we hit the screen button, now our stars and the nebula show up. So at this point, I've already got my black point and I like how the image is set up here. I can simply just adjust the sliders on this end, and if I want more brightness of the stars, or I want to take the stars down just a little bit, and if I don't want the opacity so much, I can kind of fade them out a little bit, kind of like that, which, you know, it's all user preference. So you just play with the sliders however you want it to get your stars, and truly artist preference at this point. I think that looks pretty good. There's some stars there. It's not overpowering the nebula. And we're just going to go with that. Hit the green check button. And then what that does is it's going to pop us out an image blend feature here. And as you can see, it's got the stars in there. And then there's that one. And this is the rescreened result. Not too much of a difference there with the stars. Let's get the zoom the same there. So you can kind of see here with the image blend, I reduced the opacity. You can tell this star right here is not as bright as this one. So it's truly user preference at this point. So it's whichever way you like. But there you go. There is both the images there. Now, of course, you can, at this point, you can do several things to it. You can go and adjust the color however you want. But let's see if this is going to work, since we got the full force of the stars here. You can do a couple different things here. You can go over here and go to Processes, Color Calibration, and do a standard color calibration. Oops. Got to hit the right button first. And this is Rescreen Result. And just hit the Go button, and let's see what happens. May change the colors around a little bit. So see how it changed the color a little bit? It put more of a natural color in there. If you like it that way, you can go over to Curves, Just get your preview window going. You can adjust it up. You can do a little S-curve here to get it a little more dramatic effect inside there if you like. You can keep it that way, reset it, adjust the saturation to your preference, however you want it. If you don't like it so much red, you can pull the red out a little bit. And then you can always come in and give yourself all processes range selection. Do a little preview window here. Hit the screening button here and adjust this lower limits button to where it's just your nebula that you want protected. At this point, I'm not really worried about all the other little clouds and dust lanes floating in space. I just want to focus strictly on that itself. So then we're going to take this smoothness button here and we're just going to fade it out a little bit, blur it, hit the go button, close that out, close out the preview window for that, and we'll drop this mask on there, move this mask out of the way, and then go over to our curves. Open up a preview window, and now what we've got is we've got a mask protecting the outer space area, and all we're doing is adjusting the inside the nebula here. So if we were going to boost the saturation, it should just boost the saturation inside. As you can see, it boosted all the reds and yellows inside here. All right, we can do that. We can boost a little bit of the red. We could drag a little bit of the green up with it. See how that changes the color there? Match this curve just a little bit better. And then we can pull down on, give a little bit more of a fire effect. It just totally depends on how you want to adjust your sliders. If you wanted to go with the green first and then follow it up with the red, you can do that. And then pull the red slider back down just a little bit. Gives it that little two-tone effect look. It's totally up to you on how you want to do that, on how you want to do this. You can draw out the lightness and give it a little bit more contrast in there, or brighten it up. It's totally dependent upon how you want to do it. Just wanted to demonstrate that there. And then if you weren't happy with your space, you can, the space part of it, just invert the mask. So now we're protecting the basic nebula piece here. Go back to your curves adjustment, get your preview window. So now we're going to adjust the outside area of space. It will adjust a little bit of the nebula on the inside, but not as much. And see how that's adjusting the space? So if it was too dark and you wanted to give it a little bit more contrast, you could do it that way. Kind of give it a little bit more of a 3D feel. Totally user preference here on how you want to adjust it. I kind of like that. We'll go with that. And we're going to let it go. And then you can just simply close out the mask. And then there's your image. Now, last final thing you can do, you can do two things. Hit it with a blur exterminator, and I would suggest, oh, I didn't mean to do the real-time preview. I would suggest play around with the sliders here. If you want to sharpen your stars, you can. If you want to adjust your halos, you can. But also this non-stellar, you can put it to about 65, 66, and it will really tighten up these dust lane areas. You don't want to go too much. You don't want to overbake it per se. But just give it a couple tries and see how you like it, because you can really play with your image. You can also put it into image blend and screen your result and get the same result, but it just in a different method. It's truly user preference. But we'll just give it this blur exterminator one time, and then we'll hit it with a final noise exterminator. And you can kind of see how it may have done this too much. Let's kind of dive in here just a little bit. Let's take a look at this area right here and undo the blur exterminator. Okay, so you can see where in here where it actually does change the color a little bit. It's because it's trying to sharpen it. But didn't do too bad of a job on that. Let's just let it ride just for giggles. And let's do a last bit of noise exterminator, just showing you how you can actually change your project up. You can sharpen it too much, it won't look great. But it's totally up to you on how you want to do it. So we're doing this last bit of noise exterminator, and we're just going to let it go. But this is 5 hours using the Red Cat 71 and the ASI 6200 camera. I still think that looks really good. It's not bad at all. It's not the color that I want, but we're going to go with that for now. It still shows a really cool contrasty area around the elephant trunk, and then you can do a lot of different things to tweak this up. All right, so there you go. There is a quick edit of IC 1396, I believe it is. Yep, the elephant trunk. It's 2,400 light years away, and that was just over 5 hours, 5.1 hours of integration time. And you can see how good that actually did. Wasn't the best of seeing conditions, but that was using an IDAS NBZ II Nebula booster filter, excuse me. And I want to say again, thank you very much to Dan over at AstroWorld for sending us Ease Astro's EM-31 Pro strain wave mount for review, and as also the IDAS filter as well. Can't thank you enough. If you are interested in any of the gear or any of the stuff we talked about today, please take a look at the links below to AstroWorldTelescopes.com. There's affiliate links down there. It's free for you to use, but it really helps our channel out and enables us to continue to produce videos like this. Really appreciate it. And then please leave your comments below and tell me how I did. Tell me what you like, what you don't like, and maybe give some suggestions for a future target that you would like to see processed with some of the gear that we have here. So please do that. Look forward to the next image coming up, and until next time, clear skies.